Hi, I'm Alison McIntyre and I'm an artist and I run a project called Art Doctors. And Art Doctors as a project is all about supporting people to overcome creative fears and sort of barriers to doing creative activity. So most people are a bit scared of drawing. I think when we're children we draw really naturally, and as we get a bit older we see drawing as something that you have to be making a really exact representation of the thing that you're looking at, and that everybody could do that, but it takes an awful lot of practice and skill, and so most of us, we get to an age where we just stop drawing because we feel like we're not very good at it anymore. But drawing is about so much more than that, and it's really about just making a mark on a page. It's about looking really carefully at things, but it's also about interpreting those things, and that doesn't mean that your marks have to be exactly what you're looking at. So the taking a line for a walk technique actually came from the artist Paul Klee. He used it a lot, and it involves drawing, usually with a thick marker pen, but you can do it with a pencil or anything really. And the idea is that you start somewhere on the paper, usually in a corner, because that just makes it easier for you. And you look at something, or you can do it from something in your memory, maybe a walk to school, or a journey that you take, or a view that you're really familiar with out of your window. You can do it from memory, or you can do it while you're looking at that view. So you're going to just take your pen across the paper and think about the shapes that you can see and the patterns that you can see. Try and make the line cross over quite a few times to create some enclosed shapes, because we're going to colour them in later, and that sort of helps. But don't worry too much about representing exactly what you can see. Just get a sense of it. You're kind of drawing the essence of the thing rather than exactly how it looks. So once you've finished taking your line for a walk, and you've filled up your whole piece of paper, you can look at it and you'll see that you've got quite a lot of distinct different shapes, hopefully quite a few that are like enclosed shapes that feel a bit more like they can be coloured in. So usually I take maybe quite a small number of colours, maybe 5 or 6 colours, and have a think about, again, not an exact representation of the colours that you could see while you were drawing, but a sense of what colours you might want to fill into each of those gaps. Don't fill in all of the colours, you want to leave some of that brown paper showing, but start to just get a sense of which colours want to go where, and start colouring in some of those shapes and see how that picture develops as you start to add colour to it. So Art Doctors, a lot of the work that we do and a lot of the activities that we kind of encourage people, we prescribe to people to do, are all about looking at what's around you. So much of the time in our lives we are just walking through the world and getting from one place to another and doing our jobs and picking up our kids and not really looking carefully and closely at things. So a lot of drawing is just about looking, and so part of the taking the line for the walk exercise is about being inspired by David Hockney's quote for the project, which is, "Looking at the world is good for you. The world is very beautiful when you look at it." So the idea of the project Draw is to get you drawing and encouraging you to look at the world around you and draw it. So you could have a go at this as a starting point if you wanted to, but it's up to you. Go out there and just get drawing and see what you come up with.